Hi, this is Caleb Owens with the Insurance Experience. I'm with Margaret Krichevets, and she's going to tell me about best public adjusters. Hi, Margaret. How are you today?
Hi, Caleb. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I'm doing really good. So it's a busy day, and I understand you're busy as well.
Yes, we're very busy in the
That's
aftermath of Hurricane Ian.
yeah. Have you guys been really slammed with a lot of work from all that?
Yes, we have been.
That can be a good thing. At least they've got you there to take care of them.
Yeah, we're very passionate here at BPA about helping homeowners and business owners recover after disasters. And this one was a very high magnitude one.
Yeah, no, I'm sure, and it's probably going to go on for quite a while. So, Margaret, tell me about yourself. Tell me about how'd you become where you're at now, and just tell me about your background.
Sure. I graduated from college and got my master's degree. And shortly after, I got my public adjuster's license because I really enjoy helping people. I'm very passionate about my job. Uh, I started as a public adjuster in 2003, and then we had Hurricane Charlie. So since Hurricane Charlie, I've worked about 14 storms.
Wow.
And we also handle other claims such as fires, water damage claims, vandalism, and just most recently we had an explosion case, which was very interesting. But yeah, that's when I've been doing this for over 22 years.
That's a long time. That's really impressive. Sounds like, and like you said, you've worked a lot of storms, so you're a seasoned veteran in this industry.
Yeah, you can say that.
Sounds good. So tell me about being a public adjuster, just for the layman out there, because still unfortunately a lot of people that don't know what a public adjuster is and why they need a public adjuster.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. 9 out of 10 people don't know what a public adjuster does, and a lot of people have kind of a misconception of public adjusters. There's kind of been a lot of negative stamina coming from the industry, from the opposing side, from the insurance companies. But the reality of the situation is a public adjuster plays a vital role in recovery in the aftermath of a hurricane or any disaster for that matter. You see, the insurance company's job is really to take care of your claim, but the bottom line is they represent the interests of the board of directors and the presidents of their companies. And they do everything they can to underpay and deny claims. And I have seen this all across the board for
Wow.
22 years now.
Wow, that's a bold statement, but I believe you. 100% correct is that they do everything they can to underpay and deny claims, but it's really unfortunate, especially in the aftermath of these large hurricanes like Ian that just hit Florida late last year. That's unfortunately what we're seeing a lot of. Are you concerned at all about State Bill 2A and any impacts from the legislation in Florida?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely not good for the homeowner, for the insured, and that's what it's all about because it really limits the insured in getting, their recovery. Because now the attorney's bill is not going to be paid by the insurance company. Now it is going to be coming out of the settlement directly. So that is quite a bit of a problem. Well, that's just one of the problems. There's other problems as well. um, all of these bills are not good for our industry as a whole because people will end up with less money to recover their most prized possession.
No, you're absolutely right, and they're the ones being impacted most, aren't they? It's not the insurance companies; it's the insured that just lost their home. Literally, they need the money more than anyone else, and a lot of these people don't have the financial means to, just pick up and carry on. Whereas,
Exactly. Many of these people are elderly or minorities. They don't know what it takes and how to get, their claim documented. They are being taken advantage of. I have an elderly couple that got like $4,000. Their roof needs to be replaced. All of their inside, their furniture got wet. They got flooded. I mean, you name it. They have all kinds of damage, and all they
wow,
was $4,000.
that's dirty. Wow, that's crazy. And especially like you're saying as well, these are elderly people that they probably don't have the means to really rebuttal the insurance company and come after them. So
Absolutely, yeah. They're not usually electronically or technical. They don't have emails, which is now most of the insurance paperwork and everything is sent via email, and so they really rely on us to value their claim. Determine the cause of loss, and review their coverage to make sure that they are paid every penny that they're entitled to.
wow, no, that's great. That's great that you're there. To be honest, so tell me about your company, Best Public Adjusters.
Well, Best Public Adjusters, we've been around since 2017. It's my company and my partner's company. We worked Hurricane Irma, which actually took place in 2017. We have since also worked in Louisiana and Texas.
Wow,
We handle claims in Pennsylvania. We handle claims pretty much all over United States. Um, In addition, we employ adjusters on our team who are very experienced and licensed. All are bonded, so people can feel completely secure when we come to their home. Um, we all have a lot of experience. Like some of the guys who work with me, they've been doing this for over 40 years. So
wow,
they've been on the insurance side, and now they're helping the homeowners recover. So what we do is we come out to the property, we assess the damages, we look at what the insured was paid, if anything, and then we write a very detailed estimate, which is you actually written in a program called Exactimate, which is the program that the insurance company uses as well. So that allows us to kind of, you know, pretty much talk the same language with them. So we're able to, submit all the paperwork on behalf of the insured and negotiate with them to get them every penny that they're entitled to under their policy.
that's great. I'm glad you're out there. To be honest, I mean, it's a good thing to have people like yourself and companies like Best Public Adjusters because there's not enough of you, frankly. And then another problem is that enough people out there, too many, don't understand about a public adjuster, what a public adjuster does, and that they need one. Another problem I see a lot is that they're unaware of this and they only contact you after there's a problem. Being like after they get a $4,000 settlement, then they're like, "Hey, Best Public Adjusters, can you help me with this?" And you're like, "Okay, we'll come in and try to save the day." But that's really good to hear that your company's out there, that you guys are doing what you're doing, and you're helping out the people of Florida, especially right now.
Yeah, right now we have an office in Port Charlotte, to assist the Fort Myers and Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda residents. This hurricane was so vast, it affected Naples, it affected Venice Beach, it went everywhere. Fort Myers Beach is pretty much non existent anymore. Everything has to be
Wow.
demolished and rebuilt. So we're working over there to assist the homeowners and business owners of the west coast of Florida in rebuilding efforts.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm glad you're there, to be honest.
They-
So, tell me about what's going on there. What have you seen? What's kind of claims have you seen lately? And how is all this, like you're pointing out as well, this legislation in Florida that's even just kind of stacking the cards even worse against people, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of devastation and a lot of damages. There was a flood event in many of these cases, along with the wind storm. So, people just have a lot of damage. They pretty much had to gut their homes, cut out all the drywall, take out all the floors, all the cabinets, roof systems. Pretty much every roof in Cape Coral needs a replacement.
Wow.
And, a lot of people still have tarps on their roofs, which kind of leads us to believe that they still have not gotten paid or they haven't gotten paid enough. But unfortunately, these tarps are only good for a very short period of time.
Right.
You have to keep replacing them, or it's really not a good situation because people are
Yeah.
still getting water in their homes.
Yeah, it was never intended for a long-term effect, right? You don't put a tarp on a roof and like, Yeah, that'll last 20 years.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a temporary option at best, you know. So it's, we are really like a vital part in recovery, because we are able to come in and fight for their rights in a way, and to make sure that they get paid. Sometimes we're not able to resolve our disputes. Sometimes we have to use other provisions in the policy or other dispute mechanisms, such as the appraisal provision, and also the legal part, where we are actually taking our claim to legal when we are already at like a brick wall and we cannot collect any more money. We use attorneys. And now with this new bill, before, the attorneys were actually paid by the insurance companies, as long as they were
Wow.
able to prove that there was a difference in the amount of money that was paid and what is owed. So now with this new bill, the attorneys are not going to be able to collect from insurance companies. They're going to have to get paid by the insured. So in a way, the insured is not going to get all the money that they really are entitled to. And in many cases, they will not be able to replace their roof, for instance. They're going to have
Wow.
to like patch it, for instance, or
Right.
like do temporary fixes, or a thing, not be able to fix everything in their home.
I've talked to another gentleman in Florida about this as well. He does estimates and appraisal, well, and he was telling me a lot about how people are getting priced out of the state. Like they're not even able to afford their mortgage anymore. They're not able to afford anything because the premiums are going up that much. They're literally going up 300, 500% with year over year, which is absolutely insane. It's not even inflation anymore. It's just
I mean,
something
people are
entirely different.
forced to sell their homes that they've owned for years, like that
Crazy.
were passed from generation to generation, just because they cannot afford insurance, and they just cannot take a risk like that, of losing everything they have. And a lot of people, if they have a mortgage, then the mortgage company automatically force places a policy on them. And in
Wow.
that case, they're actually paying even more, because forced place policies are very, very expensive, and a lot
Oh,
of times they don't even cover all the things that could go wrong in case of a disaster. So it's kind of an epidemic in our industry, and also the housing market as it relates to it. Um, because people are like not able to even get a mortgage because they can't afford, or they cannot find insurance. A lot of times the insurance company is asking the homeowner to replace their roof prior to issuing coverage. And that is also kind of, very gray area there.
yeah, like
So,
how are they going to afford that on top of that? Like if
mhm,
I need to buy insurance, how am I going to pay to buy a new roof? These are like 20 or $30,000 or more to buy a
exactly.
new roof. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So there's a lot to unpack with all that, and then insult to injury, in my opinion. You've got an actual claim now. You've got people that have actually filed legitimate claims. These are major losses. Roofs being torn off. There's water leaking inside. And then on top of that, they're not even adequately taking care of these people. They're not paying for things. What's going on there?
People are really living in horrible conditions.
Wow.
Now, mold has set in, which is very unhealthy to breathe and creates all sorts of respiratory problems. So it's kind of like it's not a good situation because of the fact that the carriers are delaying payment. Right now, a lot of our files are in appraisal, or a lot of them have been paid some undisputed amount, but the major chunk of the money is still out there that we need to collect for them. So we're like almost 6 months, actually. We are 6 months into this since
Since
they're,
Ian hit, correct?
yeah, Ian hit in September of 28, actually. So we are exactly 6 months now since the
Wow.
event.
And so you've got policyholders out there that you're trying to take care of that still haven't got any damages taken care of. There's no contractors out there working on these jobs. They haven't received any money from the insurance company.
Well,
What's
the
going on?
contractors, they don't wait. They want money right away. So
Right.
the homeowners have had to do a lot of things, like take loans, in high interest loans, or borrow money, or otherwise just kind of fix the main things. or whatever they can afford, and wait and hope for the remainder of the money to come.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I mean, I really don't think this is getting the national attention, that it really deserves. I know, like Hurricane Sandy, when that hit New York, that was a major, major event. Obviously, it did a lot of damage, but it seemed like there was a lot of coverage on that afterwards for several years, if not,
Mm.
when they were trying to do the recovery process and what homeowners are going through. I have not heard as much with Ian in Florida. I mean, I
Because
did.
nobody talks about it. It's kind of like on a hush hush. People don't even know. Like, my partner and I would travel to the west coast of Florida weekly, pretty much, and we see the level of devastation that is still there. But people just are not aware, and no one talks about it. It seems like,
No, you're absolutely right.
yeah,
Yeah, because it's just kind of out of the news, out of sight, out of mind. But
exactly.
those people that live there, and like you're saying as well, these are not all of them are not wealthy individuals where they own yachts and things like that. These are people who are in fixed income. They're in retirement or something of the nature, and they don't make a crazy amount of money. And here they are with their homes damaged, and they're still setting it out 6 months later, as you pointed out, waiting
Yeah,
for
almost
something to
6 months
happen.
now. It's very interesting that you pointed out, because you're right. A lot of these people are elderly
Hmm.
people, retired people, or like, for instance, one of my clients that comes to mind, they're in Inglewood. They had sustained a flood and a wind event during Ian, and they had a pretty, like, a brand new house, almost like it was a year old house that they actually used all their life savings to build. Okay.
Wow.
And now they got paid like part of it, like maybe 130,000, but there's like they need another like 200 at least to kind of like
Wow.
fix everything. And then the carriers like have really like excuses, like such unfair excuses, like, oh well, this is wear and tear, or this has been like going on, but this house is brand new, we just finished building it 6 months before
Wow.
the storm. So these are the kinds of things,
That's crazy.
these unfair practices that are very important, that that you have a licensed adjuster, or or an attorney assisting
Right.
you with things like that, because there's a lot of bad faith that's going on. Just they're hoping that it will slide. They're hoping that whatever they're going to give is just gonna the people are going to be okay with it.
Because
And
to be honest, there's
just
probably a lot of people who think like, well, I got 130. What can I do about it?
yeah,
That's
at least
it.
I got that and that's it.
Yeah.
And they go away. But in reality, they're going to have to go into their pocket or get loans or into their savings in order to bring their property to pre-loss condition. And a lot of people are actually selling their homes. We're finding so many people are just saying, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want to deal
Wow.
with this. I've had enough. I'm depressed. I
Right.
want to leave this area. I want to sell
Sure.
my home, even though they're getting like pennies on the dollar, or they're getting a big discount on their sales price, but they just had enough and they're just giving up.
Wow, that is insane. So are you also seeing people that are getting denied because of, as you mentioned earlier, there's a lot of flood damage. So that title flood damage came in. Are they also getting denied because of that for the instance of, the insurance companies will not cover flood damage, correct?
Well, you have to have different policies to cover you for different things. You have, for flood, you have to have a flood policy, okay, which is like a federal program. Then for wind, you have to have a separate policy. Many times it's two separate carriers, usually
Right.
two different
Wow.
carriers, and then they're saying, well, this was caused by flood. The wind carrier saying, oh, it's totally caused by flood. Then the flood company, carriers are saying this is definitely due to wind. So they're
So
kind
they're
of trying.
blaming each other.
Yeah, they're trying to play the blame game, you know. Um,
That's crazy.
yeah, just to kind of try to cut their costs, and it's very unfair what's happening.
Yeah,
That's
because at the
why
end
I'm
of the day, you got a
employed. Unfortunately.
policyholder who, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's very unfortunate what's happening, and that is why I have so much work now, because I have to go through all of these claims, look through all the coverages, see what's been paid, what's omitted, what is what. Sometimes it's not easy to separate.
Mm.
in those cases. So
Wow. Eh,
it's a tough job. It's a tough job, let alone for me and my team. But imagine like a lay
right.
person who doesn't know all the policy language and all the coverages. It's just like a complete like gray area for them.
This is why, in all honesty, that people need to hire a company like yours, because they really need the assistance. It's not a matter of a luxury, or a lot of other people are also very concerned about how much is a public adjusting company going to take. Well, if you don't hire one, you don't get any claim. They're not going to take that much at all. Then
Yeah, it's kind
it's
of like,
all
do you
it's
want
all
to
in comparison.
pay? Do you want to pay zero on 10,000, or do you want to pay 10% on 50,000? It's kind of
Right,
an easy.
much better.
Yeah, we are capped at 10% for these emergency storms. So for 1 year after the disaster, we can charge only 10% of the new money that we recover. So whatever
That's
people
in
have,
Florida. Is it state
yeah,
law?
yes, in Florida.
Wow. Wow, that's they're really squeezing the public adjusters now, aren't they? It's like,
Yeah.
squeeze you guys.
For water damage claims, it can go up to as much as 20%. But for these hurricane claims and flood claims, we are capped at 10%. So, right now for the first year, this is the time to do it, because after the first year, you know, we're not capped anymore.
Wow. Okay. So you're learning a lot of things, even though these are things that I've known about, I've seen. We're actually handling claims right now in Florida as well. All the time trying to get them temporary housing, and we're kind of facing the same kind of headwinds as you are as well. As you've got for our field, it's ALE. Additional living expenses. We're trying to put them into temporary housing, and $30,000 back in 2008 or something like that would have covered temporary housing for a year, 6 months, or something like that. Now it's like the cost just tripled.
Yeah, sometimes the ALE is not even enough to cover, all the months that you're displaced out of your home. And in reality, they're supposed to pay the ALE right away, like as incurred, which is another thing that they have not been doing, is they have not been paying the ALE as incurred, providing even more strain on the homeowner, because now the homeowner has to go into their pocket or their credit cards to
Right.
pay for these.
And wait to get reimbursed back from the insurance company,
Yeah,
which
and
can be 6 months down the road,
mhm.
maybe, if you're like. And right now, that's what we're looking at. And so yeah, that's exactly what we do. We go in there, we'll pay for everything, take care of their hotels or whatever they need, and then we handle
So
the insurance carrier.
that's very good. That's a great service that you guys are offering. I think it's very good for the homeowner. It
Hmm.
eliminates a lot of the stress and
Right.
aggravation, so that they don't have to, like I said, go into their savings or their pocket or their credit cards to pay for their a hotel or their other housing while their home is being rebuilt.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's kind of like just one little piece of stress that we can take care of. I mean, it's not the whole package. To be honest, you're doing a lot more work for them, trying to make them whole again by handling all the different things. But we handle one little piece, and that's kind of like giving them a temporary place to stay. That can be a huge factor for people that are going through an event like this. So if you can
Yeah,
give them a roof over their head and some nice place that they can stay for 6 months, or give them an RV or something like that, it certainly helps out quite a bit. But you're definitely doing good work out there. If you don't hear this enough from your policyholders, we appreciate you that you're actually doing a good thing, actually helping people out. So it's a good service, and I think that public adjusters don't get the appreciation that they deserve. I've met some bad public adjusters, and they get a bad rap, but it's a good and honest field that I think you're doing actually a good work.
thank you, Caleb.
Yeah, anytime. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot going on, so I'll let you get back to it, and I'll just cut it off. Maybe we can do this again in the future.
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe
I really look
we'll
forward to
call you
it.
from Fort Myers Beach so you can
I,
see
that'd be really cool. That'd be
firsthand
really cool.
the devastation that the residents have they're dealing with.
Yeah, actually, honestly, that sounds great. If you ever want to do that, you just let me know, and we could just do a video call with the phone or something like that, and you could show me, actually on site what's going on there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be really cool. Okay, all right, you get back to it. I
Okay.
really appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you very much. And we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye now.
Bye. Hi, this is Caleb Owens with Premier Insurance Housing. Do you need help with ALE or temporary housing for your policyholders or clients? If so, we would love to help out. We offer a wide range of services, and we offer our services nationwide. We offer mobile homes and fifth wheels to single-family homes and apartments. To request our services, just click the link in the description or give us a call, 405-604-0786. Thank you.